afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting, riveting, amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Pearl Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to the final Comedies 2 episode as, well, on this day Comedies 3 releases, so, after this, boom, I'll be doing Comedies 3 as, honestly, I find that a lot more exciting personally. So, we're off to the races here on Amilly Fields. One last match. Coming through this, we got NirvanaFrog in the south here fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrades Stalin with the 9th Guards, Mechanized Corps here with NKVD. Rife Disruption Tactics using the KV-8, Radio Intercept, Commissar Command Squads, Scorched Earth, and Anti-Tank watching north. There's Prabuty here with a grand offensive choice here fighting for the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier with Panzerfusilier, smoke bombs, Infrasturmgewehrs, Panzer Commanders, and the Tiger Tank, a Kugelwagen Panzerpistole here for Prabuty as he raises the head here. W-Nears Strafbad here for NirvanaFrog. Sending out the penal troopers here to face the Germans. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons and supporters who keep me running and have done so for several years. A big thanks to all those other people who join the ranks by Patreon. Links are in the video description. Setting out here with the Panzerfusilier. Kugelwagen setting out here. Sturmpionier setting out. Heading for the eastern point of the Engineers. West side Engineers spears in their point. Kugelwagen going for the western victory point. Scout car there for NirvanaFrog, but the second Panzer squad here for Prabuty. Certainly that typically can be effective as the overall command versus a Panzer opening. It does have some risks here. That said, Amilly Field can probably help, get around some of these risks. And of course, interesting choice, of course, is Il Ghost with knowing radio intercept. So NirvanaFrog here must be fairly confident he can sort of get around the Panzerfusilier and their access to the anti-tank Rifle Grenade, which is typically otherwise what the Oberkommandus lacks in the early game is snares. So that's why you typically see some players in fact going for the scout car because of that. And Geese here wiring off the truck, and the east deny heavy cover there, finding they'll continue to be quite heavy around the western victory point here. Prabuty charging the engineers here, basically hoping to clear out the engineers first, then switch over to the penal troopers. That's it, this gambit here looks like to be backfiring. Prabuty, the Sturmpion, end up taking a lot of damage and a force back here. And we got the M3A1 light scout car moving forward here for NirvanaFrog and the Red Army here versus Prabuty. Strafverbindung force here, Kugelwagen, Sturmpionier, hightailing it back to the base here. Panzerfusilier versus Engineers here by the eastern point. NirvanaFrog with the second penal trooper squad there. Penal troopers advancing there. Scout car racing through the center here. And racing eastwards. Grabbing the eastern point here. Back here we got Engineers just standing about. Sturmpionier reinforcing, Kugelwagen need repairs. Racing eastwards. There you go, Panzerfusilier here versus the M3A1 light scout car. But good cut here by NirvanaFrog on Prabuty's car form there, denying him access to, of course, precious resource. On the other hand, though, NirvanaFrog fares less well in east, where the scout car does suffer an anti-tank rifle grenade damage here, damaging the engine and putting down tower fail here. There's a good chance here Prabuty could finish off the scout car, but he does not pursue here, allowing NirvanaFrog to pull back the scout car. Up north here, point being grabbed back with the Kugelwagen Sturmpionier Raketenwerfer out here. Clearly it wants to make sure that scout car dies, rather than go for more Panzerfusilier here. Interesting choice there by Prabuty. Penal troopers then these are when the Panzerfusilier squad here, spreading out too thin here. They are easy victims to any sort of penal trooper assault here. Particularly backed up even just by Engineers. Truck for Prabuty. That'll likely be the Belgrade headquarters here, as NirvanaFrog and the Red Army pushes forwards here. Sand being seized up with the Kugelwagen. Typically M3A1s were used by the Soviet reconnaissance detachments, the Razvedki. Straight to mine there with the Kugelwagen. And the Kugelwagen goes down here, knocked out by NirvanaFrog. Third penal troop on the way here. So minor blow here to Prabuty, lowers his mobility here versus NirvanaFrog, who of course retains it thanks to his scout car. So I imagine this is going to be a battle headquarters up for Prabuty, and I would also not be surprised to see a flak half track being sort of pushed out here to help contain NirvanaFrog's infantry antics, and probably also see if we can't just rip that M3A1 scout car apart like it's made out of paper. We're not even talking the good kind of paper. Panzerfusilier pushing forwards here with their Karnat TK bolt action rifles. Penals are there routed. Catching here the Strafbad out there. Sturmpionier pushing back the scout car there. The assault rifles there presenting a slight threat to it. Nearest ground pointing, laying down mines. Very good work here. Battle headquarters almost done there for Prabuty. As for NirvanaFrog, at this stage he could slowly consider taking up there, though he wouldn't be able to like push anything out of it right away. But that doesn't mean he can't necessarily consider going for it. There you go. Battle headquarters up for Prabuty, and again I'm expecting here this into a flat half track, and there you go. M31 knocked out here. Bit of awkward pathing here allows Prabuty to deliver a crashing blow here to NirvanaFrog and his mobility. Once we leave his knees there. Sounding the scout car, of course, for some extra fuel. Thumbs up there to Prabuty. The Kedma position in the center. Knees laying down mines on the cut-off point. They're obviously trying to forestall any immediate harassment attempts here by Prabuty. But Prabuty, of course, already a step ahead of NirvanaFrog, prevents him from getting down the mines. Each side here, the engineers are fairly easily stalling up 2 panzer escorts here. I suspect the reason he's not advancing is he's probably worried there might be something else behind them, or he's wondering if he doesn't want them elsewhere. So, there we go. Flak half track on the way for Prabuty, as expected. Can, of course, be a powerful tool. In the right hands. And there you go. We got the Comms Command Squad out here for NirvanaFrog. He does like using them to support his penal troopers. Straight to man in the east here with a Panzerfusilier. Several men there blowing their feet off. Flak half track that's getting ready here. Straight ahead here. With the Strafbat into the Panzerfusilier. G for the fuse on the way there. The Kermev, they're being pushed out. Flak half track almost out, and he should also just retreat the penal troopers or Panzerfusilier right now. As the penal troopers at close ranges can really make an impact there with the SVD-40 semi-automatic rifles. There we go. Steady ahead there as we go. Flak half track out of the 251-7T Model C. Troops setting up from the base here, others reinforcing. No healing yet. I imagine that's going to be priority here for Prabuty. Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, we got the tech here for NirvanaFrog. Could like to see a T-70 out here. NirvanaFrog are all just maintaining excellent map control versus Prabuty, in part because not just having a lot of infantry, but some engineer squads does help him with map control, whereas Prabuty doesn't have a lot of, like, units to grab stuff, and he lost the Kugelwagen, so he's somewhat less able to, like, grab points swiftly here. Definitely should consider more infantry. I mean, the flak half track will help just, murdering NirvanaFrog's infantry and all that. Oh, he actually popped hold the line here. There's the flak half track. Hold the line, comrades! But it's a 20mm anti-aircraft gun! How are we supposed to hold against that? Just do it! I don't care how, just hold! There we go. Ultimately, there's not really much you can hold against that. Third Panzer squad here for Prabuty, finally bringing in some more infantry. We got the Commissar and the Peons with their falling away here. Center being seized by the Red Army and the engineers here. And there you go, third squad up for Prabuty. And we got the T on the way here for NirvanaFrog, and it is almost done here. The Extreme Puny Court here, and there you go, quickly ordering them not one step back. The Kevin Court here with engineers. Flak hafting hold eastwards. Got the western fuel point. We got engineers and people up there. And of course now we have the significant threat of the T-Center light tank out here for Prabuty to deal with. Plus these people from the west here being slowly overwhelmed here as NirvanaFrog strikes forwards. Carp on the engineers here. Panzer heading eastwards here. Flak half track disengaging. Truck plus an MD-34 for Prabuty. T-Center racing forwards here. Straight ahead at the flak half track, of course, going for the biggest stretchers infantry. Heading for that eastern fuel point with a Panzerfusilier. Reinforcing and healing, I imagine. Yeah, really strong map control for NirvanaFrog versus Prabuty. Really tough spot to be in for the German player right now, as NirvanaFrog just continues to leverage, his fairly tough infantry backed up by a fairly mean light tank. Oh, we're going Prabuty here, just a really rough opening. Peons to the right on the west there, Sturm Pioneer, flak half track there, just absolutely ripping them apart there. No mercy there from Prabuty and the German army. That's it. Mercy's not exactly, what you associate with the German army now, is it? Truck wing about here, and I imagine that's going to be the 300 quarters here. That is fairly early out there. I'm guessing just Prabuty wanted to be ahead here of the curve on that one. Might be he's betting a bit of money there in the Obersoldat and turn the tide around against the Soviets. T-70 falling back with a damaged engine. West side here. Commissar back to the Pumas going for the Panzer here by the point there. Flak after the Pumas in the east. And we got the NKVD as well here. Unleashing a hailstorm of death on the penal troopers. They quickly retreat in NirvanaFrog, of course, realizing that's going to end with a lot of dead penal troopers if it doesn't retreat them immediately. Another Panzer squad here for Prabuty. He's going for a lot of them all of a sudden. Interesting there. I mean, typically see like players go for them ahead of time, like early on, but like not quite like this. And now the Sturmpenny is a high chance of getting right with the Commissar and the penal troopers. That's going to be quite a blow here to Prabuty. We'll need to replace them in part because he's got no way of repairing his flak half-track. So there we go. 4th squad ready. Ultimately, though, they are Panzerverlierer and not Panzerpioniere. Those are in Company 3. T-70 is the Panzer here by the eastern field point. Ken will shoot and completely misses the mark here. Second one, he misses as well. He's clearly just hanging around home to get lucky, and of course, okay, third shot he got lucky. That said, needs to retreat like Ken for now already. West side he flagged out the penalties there. We got the Panzer pushing forwards here. More G43s there for Prabuty. That'll be his second G43 upgrade ready. This rate, though, I'm kind of expecting to go for a second like Kednafer here. They'll deal with both the T-70, but also likely any incoming army here from NirvanaFrog, because at this rate, NirvanaFrog is absolutely going to be ahead on the curve here and just going to crash down on Prabuty with a large number of T-3476s. We got 310 1 to 411. NirvanaFrog has already caught up with and overtaken Prabuty in terms of victory points. Grab the eastern point. Fuel cache up for NirvanaFrog, or he feels like he's got a pretty good advantage. He decides to leverage it with a fuel cache so that we try and push the tanks faster here. Not a bad idea under current circumstances, not a bad idea. Black Army Water Center here. Strafbart caught here and is pushed back under a withering hailstorm of bullets and flak fire. In the east side of Panzer, we've got the Pumas rolling up here, heavy cover there, soon to come in the face of the Germans. Center, we got the Panzer rolling up here, west side, Panzer pushing up as well, the near squad, and a large chunk of Soviet infantry moving up here as well. Veterans run the Commissar, of course, means a 6th member to the unit here. Panzer here, but the eastern victory point are being met with the T-70, but like Kednafer forces off the T-70 here. The Schwerer Panzer quarters is going out there for Prabuty. Panzer here, they're being swarmed here, Commissar flanking in, and there you go. Not one step, once more on the penal troopers here from the Commissar, further boosting the firepower, but there you go, flak half-track to the rescue. A lot of sort of swift punches here and there. The Kednafer pushing up east side into another mine here. So many mines here from NirvanaFrog, and he still has, like, plenty of munitions floating about, honestly. Black happening westwards there, it kills. He's looking about the east side here. The Kednafer is actually quite exposed there. I mean, it's down to already 3 men, and it's almost a half health. There's actually a chance here that NirvanaFrog's T-70 flanking it here could wipe the Kednafer, in which case NirvanaFrog could seize it and turn against Prabuty, which, of course, would be fairly bad for Prabuty. T-70 keeps up the pursuit here. Black half taking eastwards. Panzer sending eastwards there. We got another G43 squad, and there we got a Kednafer wipe, at least close here to Prabuty's base. That's it. Looks like NirvanaFrog's just going to wreck it here. Another Kednafer for Prabuty to replace the one that opposite is about to get wrecked here by the Soviets. Strafbart here caught with the flak half track. Very, very close 52, and there you go. The Kednafer utterly destroyed here with the T-70. Good work there by NirvanaFrog. Moving on the west side again. He's overall making good use of his infantry and aggressive, man, but also crucially, he's always ensuring he never quite, like, becomes repetitive in a sense, like, it doesn't become ever too easy for Prabuty to predict what NirvanaFrog is doing, and that way, he can always, like, take advantage of, like, potential gaps here. So that's, I think, fairly smart play by NirvanaFrog. really sharp playing fat and certainly makes things very uncomfortable for Prabuty to deal with. Meanwhile, NirvanaFrog here is ratcheting things up with a sudden inclusion of a sniper at the 50-minute mark. Typically not super common here. But certainly, if you sort of consider the overall strategy of NirvanaFrog, which again is already like, to a degree, focused on like, disruption and again, keeping his opponent off balance, suddenly throwing in a sniper there could add to this. That said, T7 suffers the damage engine with and to tank rifle there, punching through it like Kevin opening up as well here. Could take out the T70 here. And there we go, does take out the T7. That is a critical kill here for Prabuty. Removes a huge threat to him. And certainly limits what NirvanaFrog can do in terms of map control, at least. That's what he should have done, but he's already going for the T-3476, which will more than happily compensate for the loss of the T-70, as the T-3476 has incredible anti-infantry performance. Black after into the penal troops out in the open. Actually, to the also arrived here. This is a big win there for Prabuty. Sniper halfway done. That looks like he cancelled it there, so we could push out the T-3476 first. Maybe. Needs to rip out the flak half track out in the open. I'd say there's a chance here that Prabuty could score wipe here in NirvanaFrog's engineers. There we go. I think that's actually the first squad wipe there. He's pushing for the stun field point. And then go T-3476 ramming here for NirvanaFrog and the Red Army. These will serve until the very end of the war, but because the Soviets had a tendency of just using whatever they had until they didn't have it anymore. Another penal troop squad here. This late of the game is a very interesting choice here by NirvanaFrog. Also would push him up to 5 infantry squads, but typically you just don't see like a player suddenly going again for like a 4th penal troop squad this late. Lots of mines again, just very consistent mining here from NirvanaFrog is absolutely wreaking havoc here on Prabuty. It's now moving forward as well here. MD-34 covering the center-west side here. Push back the Soviets there somewhat, but the east side it's definitely looking into a bit of a disaster here for Prabuty. Somehow the Panzer squad there survives all of this, but overall though, NirvanaFrog keeps up the offensive, just a massive throng of Strafbat backed up with the comms here, just charging at Prabuty. The lines are buckling here, but ultimately he is able to halt NirvanaFrog's otherwise, rapid marches advance here. May I go flak half track? Might even be able to score a wipe here on these low health penal troopers, maybe. Yep, got a wipe here. Excellent kill there for Prabuty. 18 kills, close to veteran 3. Sniper falling back. Back here, reinforcement healing for Mr. NirvanaFrog. Heading westwards to the Strafbad here. Sniper rolling up here. T-3476 falling back. Engineers moving about. Panzerfusilier setting out. Strafbad moving forwards. And another T-3476 there for NirvanaFrog. Bit surprised we're not seeing any KV8s. He has shown himself to be previously quite prolific with those, but maybe he's waiting for the right time. Or maybe he's got other plans. More T-33, so that's going to be 4 T-33 squads here for Prabuty. He is closing another Panther 4 here, Model J, and he's definitely has the bulletins, so that's going to certainly add some impact here versus NirvanaFrog. You could also go for the Arc Panzer, and it's also not impossible as thinking about Tiger Tanks or even Panthers here versus NirvanaFrog. We'll of course have to see what exactly Prabuty's game plan is there. Go running into anti-tank rifles here. The flak half track is quickly rebuffed there. Comms are gaining veteran 3 there. There we go. T-3476 there ready. And a Panther 4 Model here for Prabuty. Die Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung J. Certainly makes the most sense under current circumstances. It's also just easily the most cost-efficient tank the Oberkommand West has. So, it is by far the superior choice here. But, some players will always try and, push for the bigger tanks in companies too. Meanwhile, the comms are suppressed here with the MD-34 here. Panzer charging forward with the G-43s, the Gewehr 43. Strafbad there pushed back. You got the T-34 up. There we go. combined with the field propaganda artillery, there's obviously no other direction but, you know, towards the base here for Prabuty's Panzerfusilier here as NirvanaFrog's T-34-76s charge through there like a bunch of steroided up kids. Well, the question, of course, is how did those kids get their hands on the steroids? Which, of course, you no, the answer is the Soviet Union. They probably wouldn't have wanted to win the Kids Olympics, despite there never being ones. Reinforcing healing there. Panzer forwarding use was there, adding the Panzer Commander. Shoots whiffs. Panzer Commander almost done. Panzer heading eastwards. And there we go. Panzer Commandant done. Enforcing healing. Flak half track. 19 kills close to 83. Almost fixed up as well here. NirvanaFrog back to some pretty good Macrobus Prabuty. That said, victory points wise, he's actually fairly behind here, Prabuty. And there you got Kedmev opening the T-34-6 punches straight for the armor. Panther 4 there turns around. Of course, anti-tank rifles in. He's got plenty of them now. Does pose a problem here for Prabuty's armor bit. It's probably also, again, another reason they just, you know, got a lot of T-34-6s, because at that point they can do a lot more of the anti-infantry work, but then just relying on the sheer number of anti-tank rifles here to sort of help deal with armor. But even then, they can sort of still work as infantry. Grenades off here. Lots of grenades, in fact, on the commas. Almost took him out there. T-34 roaming in here. Panther 4 being pushed back by the sheer number of anti-tank rifles. They're just firing off shots here. West Side units pushed back by the MG-34 here. NirvanaFrog could go for a third T-34-6 on this versus Prabuty, but I guess he's got other plans. Meanwhile, Prabuty's Panther 4s need repairs. He's finally got a fresh Pioneer squad out there. Of course. T-34 roaming westwards. We've got a Katyusha here for NirvanaFrog. Obviously a bit of rocket artillery here to make things uncomfortable for Prabuty and his infantry and support weapons. Very sensible choice there. Thumbs up. Nice shot that came over there. Flak half track very, very close to veteran feet. Panther 4 they almost fixed up. Again, servers of Deutschland. The Katyusha rocket launch almost done for NirvanaFrog. Flak half track moving towards the center. We got the Panzerfusilier rushing eastwards. Go, Katyusha out.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Using the center again here. Fresh wave of attackers here from NirvanaFrog, backed up with snipers, 6 kills. Panzer rushing 44. Veterans here 4, but only 5 kills. These had the Panzer rush back by the T-34-6. No real chance of close range versus that, so there is really only one direction, and there's the retrograde direction. West side, he got the point rendered neutral here. In the center, NirvanaFrog is forced to abandon the pursuit of victory points there due to the flak half track. MG-34 here, ready to go again. Panzer reinforcing, healing. West side here, we got the Panzer of the T-34-6 and Panzer holding up here. Very, very close to T3. T-34-6 running 47 around front, going straight for the Panther 4. He turns around, shoots. Fails to hit the T-34-6 there. Heading out for flak half track at the end. That's in the Schumpion, he's using the point. Sniper with 7 kills. Black half track, there was the advancing Strafbart, taking heavy damage from the T-34-6, Academy getting there 2 here. Another shot, they almost got the T-34-6, but now the support weapons are in the line of 5, the Katyushas. Massive barrage of rockets here, slamming right into Prabuty's machine gun crew there, and slamming them right into the afterlife. T-34 giving the advantage, Academy positioning again to open up here, sniper pumps with this, keeping the offensive here. Prabuty's center there is just giving way. Panzerfusilier pushing forwards here. Almost got them wiped out. Almost got the Strafbot there wiped out. Close to wipe here on NirvanaFrog, but no. Survives. Prabuty can soon go for another Panther 4 Model J. You could also be planning perhaps a Jagdpanzer. I mean, that wouldn't be half bad, honestly. At least that's the tanks. Not useful against the infantry. Black half tech once more done repairs, of course, so it's the Panzer 4 here. So that's only quite a bit of repairs. The Sturm Pioneers will need to, like, you know, get done pretty quickly. Meanwhile, NirvanaFrog just keeps the assault here. Panzers have routed. Met with a flurry of firepower here from NirvanaFrog and the Red Army. Schwerer Panzer Quarters laying down a hell of a volley there with its 30mm flak gun. Fun fact, the Germans actually had a double-barrel version of this known as the Flak Zwilling, but alongside a few other sort of flak guns, those actually only serve within Germany's borders because, well, they're actually quite difficult to maintain, and so they really only serve within Germany because of that. They even had, like, you know, more advanced version of the Flak 36, for example, and even bigger versions of the Flak 88, based like 10.5 centimeter flaks, and I think even like a 12 centimeter flak or something like that. So there's a little fun fact for you. Fun flak facts. T-34-6 on the way there for NirvanaFrog, just churning out those T-34-6s. Incredibly cheap and cost-efficient tanks. People looking for the Panzer, coming up here. And there you go, Katyusha fire there, ripping right into the Panzerverlierer. Snowing on the west side here. T-34-6 moving out, even around the front. The third one here. Prabuty with another Panther 4 Model J. Very much anticipated. It's a bit quiet here. We got 236 behind 90. Prabuty maintains the lead over NirvanaFrog for now. Of course, the question remains for how much longer. This NirvanaFrog is doing a fairly efficient job at chipping away at it. Plenty more mines here from NirvanaFrog against Prabuty. Oh, mine gets off in the east here. Bit awkward there for NirvanaFrog. Another mine set off there by the Panther 4. Getting opening up here in the T-34-6. Sniper scores a kill here. Second Panther 4 Model almost ready here for Prabuty, and there you go. More Panther support here for the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division. Panzerversuch heading westwards. East side there, we got the Sturm Pioneer advancing on the eastern fuel point, and then deciding that perhaps they've got better places to be. As the west being pushed back the T-36, the Panther 4 moving up here. Shoots. Shot bounces off the T-34-6's armor. Black half they're very, very close to active fleet. Panzerversuch there at Seredi. Heading for the eastern point. Panzer moving up near the ace level. Westwards we got the Panther 4 Model here versus the Strafbot. Second one moving up here. That's definitely bad news here for the Peel Troopers. There we go, down to just 2 men. Almost got them wiped there. Another kill here. Tifa's rushing in and going hard in though versus Prabuty's Panther 4. Suffers a wipe somewhere. Katyusha fire off here as well. Panther 4 was knocked out. T-34 also close range risk of being knocked out. There we go. One T-34 down, but the Panther 4 is going to get knocked out as well. That's going to be a pretty bad trade-off then for Prabuty. We're losing the Panther 4 with just one T-34 knocked out. There we go. Might be able to take out another T-34-6 here. At which point it's 2 T-34s for Panther 4. Certainly better. Oh dear. Somehow the Panther 4s... Oh no, he lost 2 Panther 4s. For 1 T-34-6, that is pretty much horrendous here for Prabuty. An excellent kill there for NirvanaFrog. And he's, of course, just bringing another T-34-6, as they can be much more easily replaced compared to the Panther 4 Model J's. Sturm Pioneers to the Pioneers, so we got another kill for Prabuty in response to this. Unsurprisingly, of course, the Katyusha and the sheer number of T-34-6s will make this somewhat tough to pull off, though, for Prabuty. On an 89 is on a 90. Now the kidnap, they're almost done for Prabuty, but the situation is certainly looking worse for Ware here versus NirvanaFrog. Much worse for Ware. NirvanaFrog has once more overtaken Prabuty in terms of victory points here. T-34 looking eastwards. He still has the flag half track, at least there, Prabuty. That is something, but that's about it, really, here versus NirvanaFrog. That is about it, really. And even that, of course, can be subject to very swift change. But they got anti-tank overwatch on top of the flag. Oh, T-34's going for it there. He does have some anti-tank rocket grenade damage. And he does lose the T-34-6, and certainly a T-34-6 at ace level plus anti-tank overwatch just for the flag half track admittedly appears a bit overkill, but at the same time it's also just such a crucial linchpin right now for Prabuty's forces that, I mean, theoretically it could actually end up being worth it, simply because it's going to make it even harder here for Prabuty to contain NirvanaFrog's infantry. And leave certainly the infantry even more on their own, so theoretically, again, you could argue it's sort of worth it, but even then, like, it's kind of crazy, you know, still a veteran free T-34-6 and an anti-tank overwatch just to take out one damn flak half track. Damage engine there. What will Prabuty go for next? Panther 4 more. Yak Panther 4. Will he try and go out for a Tiger Tank all of a sudden, or a Panther? Time will tell. Stumping with that Panther straight there. Shoots, misses. The rocket dives straight into the ground there and goes off harmlessly. Meanwhile, the Panther veteran free, they're being pursued by the T-34-6s. Guns and machine guns, they're just ripping them down there, wiping out the squad there. Another blow here to Prabuty in association, already fraught with quite heavy blows here from NirvanaFrog. He's going to have to do some pretty sharp maneuvering here, I think, to turn the tide against NirvanaFrog and buy himself more time. Otherwise, I think at this point he's going to risk bleeding up pretty rapidly in the face of the Red Army. Really bad spot to win for the Germans. Campbell's opening up here. Taking the Betsy 3-1 here. Almost had it there. Close but not quite. Enforcing healing here. Yeah, now the Panther 4 multi here for Prabuty. So he's going to need some more infantry as well, and I would certainly recommend some Obersoldaten. Very strong urge. Some Obersoldaten here versus NirvanaFrog and his healing troopers there, and of course the Commissar. But for now, the priority is clearly the Panther 4 multi here versus NirvanaFrog. T-34-6 rolling up. Going west to see if there's a Rakettenwerfer.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Mines down. Bit of quiet here in NirvanaFrog space. Shit's minute down here from Prabuty. 132 on a 90. Panther 4 almost done. Go, fresh Panther 4 out there. NirvanaFrog, of course, with just more T-34-6s. There you go. Fresh Panther 4 model Jahimim on the west side of Ken recruit caught off guard. And on its own, Sturm Pioneer Panther 4 moving up here to deal with the T-34-6s. Good shots there. Both go through the T-34's armor like a hot knife through butter. Or well, a Panther shake through Soviet armor. T-34's rolling forward, see. Then we grab the Panzer heading east to with the Panzer there as well. Which we should barrage off here. There you go, fresh T-34 ready. Panzer in the center. East side, we got the Panzer moving forwards here. Another Panzer squad here for Prabuty. I really would have expected an Obersoldat squad at this point, but he seems very much devoted to his Panzer Fusilier, which, I mean, is fine. It's fine, but under current circumstances, I don't know if it's optimal, at least. Still, he's managed to halt the bleeding and turn the bleeding once more. NirvanaFrog here. T-4's going straight at it. Panther need to be careful. Panther falls backing off. He shots flying in his general direction here, and the Panther shoots, slightly kills Yevgeny there by accident. I'm sure the crew's not particularly perturbed about that. And east side there, this fresh T-34 heading to the Panther there, pushing them back here. Once more, Prabuty's lines are steadily folding in the face of NirvanaFrog's counterattack here. A Kevin has a fine way here. Virtually 4 cheaped on this one here. Definitely a bit of a step up. They increased mobility and crucially increased rate of fire, actually 5, which is where things get really fun for Prabuty. And there you go. Schwerer Panzer Quarters ends up absolutely demolishing countless penal troopers here. And NirvanaFrog goes for a second Katyusha, which is actually surprisingly rare for 1v1. Most other players just stick to one Katyusha. Obviously, going for more than one Katyusha can be a bit risky, but at the same time, unleashed at the right time, it's also just very, very powerful. By the way, the T-Fed's rolling about. Katyusha, there's Veterans 1, opening up for the Creeping Barrage. Specifically, the Power Creeping Barrage. A bit of width there. So, 99. Not love balloons. Such there. 171, there was NirvanaFrog. Second Katyusha almost on the NirvanaFrog. Probably should put repairs Panther 4. Heat like Kevin setting up here. There goes second Katyusha rocket launcher ready for NirvanaFrog and the Red Army. That's going to be quite the chorus of rockets there being unleashed against Prabuty and the Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division. T-Fed forces rolling forwards, close to 53 east out there. Small group heading westwards, far west here. Panzer moving up in the point here. Straight into a booby trap here. One thing NirvanaFrog actually uses, which I don't think any other server plays, uses these booby traps here, which can be, as you notice, they're quite nasty. They can pretty much bring your opponent around the point, and as you might notice here, like the enemy in the fight is not paying attention. So, thumbs up to NirvanaFrog there. Always nice to see such underutilized abilities, well, utilized. Fresh waves of infantry moving forwards here. Straight into the Panzerfusilier at ace level. Panther 4 there awaiting repairs and is getting them. Okay, members almost taking up the T-Fed force from 6. Down at the eastern field, over the Panzerfusilier. Once more for Deutschland. 84 was on the same one. NirvanaFrog charges through the center west side there. Still waiting for the point to end. The Punch meanwhile, or the Punch meanwhile just, you know, suffered incredibly severe third-degree burns.
Supply sector under attack.
Surprisingly, no one died standing in the middle of all that fire. You know, Ulrich, I can't help but feel we should relocate. Ah. Ulrich! You lazy asshole. Anyways, quick artillery strike here from the Panther to push back here. NirvanaFrog C-34s and 6s. Fixing up the Schwerer Panzer Hauptquartier. Academy setting out once more to hunt down Soviet armor, or at least pretend to. Got the Katyusha there, of course, ready as a significant rocket artillery park here. In fact, the Surge also had larger versions that fired well. Obviously, larger rockets, fewer but bigger ones. Mounted, I believe, amongst other things, on American Studebaker trucks. Because there's one thing the Surge weren't really good at, it was actually making trucks. Just couldn't make enough of them. Coming up in the T-Fed force from 6, they're gaining the ace level there. There you go, Katyusha barrage here. Rockets screaming through the air, they're killing Fritz. Meanwhile, the T-Fed was taking bounce to the chaos course for the Academy. There you go, anti-tank what's called in here. Further sowing confusion and chaos in the lines of Prabuty. Rockets screaming down anti-tank watch fire there. T-Fed force blasting over the guns, the machine guns. The Academy caught a bad spot here. And we see it ends up being kind of a full rout here from Prabuty. As his forces are forced to completely split up in part because of the Panther force takes around. It gets utterly demolished by the anti-tank Overwatch, which thankfully is not in company as 3. Reinforcing healing up Panther 4 and dying needed repairs. The East Victory point makes the near here. T-Fed force falling back for some heavily needed repairs. Panzerfusiliers on the western field. We got 69, 66. That's what I'm saying. The gap is just growing between NirvanaFrog and Prabuty, and it is certainly not growing in Prabuty's favor. Once being ripped apart, the penal troopers and the comms out in the open. Now the Panther 4 Moldier here for Prabuty. West side there, mine goes off. Heinrich and Dieter dead. Just holding back here, of course, for now. Panther 4 Moldier, they're being fixed up. Second one almost done here for Prabuty. The Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division. Once they're being mauled out in the open. About to get wiped there, I think. close call, but somehow managed to avoid a wipe there. Punch is the T-34 from 6. Panther 4 number 2 arriving, so that's back to 2 Panther 4s here for Prabuty versus NirvanaFrog. In the center of their Panther 4, they're trying to get out the point of being absolutely ripped asunder here by NirvanaFrog. So we got the Panther 4s finally arriving here, shooting into the horde of Grafniki here. The Juju rockets unleashed there on the Raketner for there. Obviously just wants to silence them so they can't threaten his tanks. Got 28% in one here. Prabuty is trying here versus NirvanaFrog. But his units just aren't quite making the impact they need to at this stage. Panther 4 getting into 2 there. T-34 roaming up here. Panther 4 at Vetsny 2 there. 13 kills. T-34 firing in. So there we got 24 versus 171. Got a T-34 from 6 there. Excellent. Excellent. Problem is that I don't think it's going to be particularly impactful, and there goes even ramming in his ace level T-34 from 6 here on that Panther 4 just to ensure it dies. Not really sure that was necessary, and I suspect this part might just be a bit of cheek there from NirvanaFrog, you know, showing, hey, I can easily afford to just disable my most veteran, my most elite T-34 from 6 crew. I will just throw away like it is nothing. And again, like, I'm sure he'd make a great Russian commander. Anyways, troops pushing forward on the center. 14 versus 171 here. Prabuty throws his men into the center, also known as into a potential CoH2 rocket artillery. We got a KV-8 now on the way from NirvanaFrog. I don't necessarily think it's going to hit in time. He's down to like 10 points here. Might end up like, you know, winning before the KV-8 becomes reality. There you go. T-34 from 6 says, you know, destroyed. The crew burning up in the tank just because NirvanaFrog wanted to show up. Where's the hell? Don't worry, you're dying for a glorious cause. I'm trying to show the other guy he's an idiot. What other guy? Who are you talking to? Oh no. Panther 4 there, 14 kills, actually 2 KB8 almost done there, NirvanaFrog. Almost done. Stumpin pushing forwards here. Looks like the KB8 may actually arrive in time. E9. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything anyways. 7. 5. 3. 1. And that's going to be it here. A loss for Prabuty, victory for NirvanaFrog. Pretty brutal back and forth battle, but then I think NirvanaFrog just managed to consistently build up an advantage when Prabuty sort of came ahead there. I feel like he didn't always make the most optimal decisions here versus NirvanaFrog, which I think allowed NirvanaFrog, of course, then bounce back fairly effectively. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you learned something from it. Had some fun. This is also the last commentary episode, as I will be moving to Company 3, which, quite frankly, I enjoy a ton, and I'm really looking forward to just playing that a bunch once it releases. So that will be happening there tomorrow. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Consider, you know, donating via PayPal if you wish to support it. Links in the description. Or if you're in the market for pre-ordering commentary and doing it, you can pre-order it by the link in the comments, or just buy it again. So if you're seeing this video by the time commentary is out, use the link there in the comments. Use the CoH2 3G, and I get a small cut of the sale there. So thank you all for joining in. You all have a wonderful audience, and hope to see you all tomorrow again for the next episode. Bye.